We're back, baby. It is the charity straw. Pitch your free throws because they are free. Fisher, DJ, Nikki, Snacks, Kreider, Daily Stripe. Today is Tuesday, June 27th. Nick, we are nearing the 4th of July. Any fun plans for you, my friend?
On the day of the 4th, I don't really have anything planned because it's on a Tuesday. But Monday, got a great DJ set going on at the Victorian in the basement. So
Nice.
Monday night, get there and get rowdy if you're in town. Saturday, our squad's planned a big beach party. So we'll see how that goes. Super excited to have some fun in the sun. It's been a while since we've been able to do that with the boys.
It's true.
But that's about it. I think it's people are complaining that 4th of July is on a Tuesday. However, the way that I look at it, the way that you look at it, is it's a big old 5-day weekend. No one's really working on Tuesday. Maybe more. And you're not working the day after either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's Friday. No, July 5th is off.
Is it?
I believe like in standard practice.
My girlfriend does not have that day off. My girlfriend does not have either day off because she technically works in marketing for a retail company. So they have to abide by the same rules that the retail employees do, which is unfortunate. They don't have Monday off. They just have Tuesday off.
It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's like what's fair for the company. But most companies, I think, are giving their employees off on Monday, not on Wednesday.
Okay. Interesting. I typically people get the Wednesday after or the day after the July 4th to kind of ease back into things. But nonetheless, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday should be a really fun time. And it's great to get back into the swing of things in Los Angeles and get out on the beach. It's been a minute and it's not our fault.
It's gonna feel like high school summers again, right?
The old high school summers. Yeah, who doesn't love that?
I was in high school.
I remember when we were boys in high school. That was a good old time. Yeah, I will be there. Do you know how in like schools and stuff they name buildings after donations?
I know what you're going with. What? Name the basement after Nikki Snacks. That's actually really funny. Maybe one day.
Honestly, I mean
I did get lunch with our promoter, good friend of ours, Bo. So I could definitely see if he's interested in doing that for me.
We gotta get Bo on the show for college football betting.
I agree.
Yeah, it'd be good to have him on. All right, we're in the throes of summer. The sport that you and I jointly love is baseball. You've had a bone to pick with the All-Star voting. I don't blame you.
To some degree. I think for the most part, getting it right, but there are a lot of ones on here that are just ridiculous.
Okay, so we'll get into that. Now, what you and Alex and I discussed, Alex will be joining us once again tomorrow. We are going to make our team, so starting 9, the 9 being the DH, plus a pitcher or two, of guys under 25 specifically. So if you're 25 years old, Adley, Cunha, Bo Bichette, not going to cut it. But if you're under 25, and I think there's a couple names on here, you're going to be like, that guy's under 25. Under 25, you make the cut and you're eligible to be on our starting 9. I'm going to give you some players at each position that I feel are deemed worthy. There's one. I want to see if you can guess though. Quickly, there is one position that has one player under it.
Only one player?
Only one player I have deemed worthy for that position, untouchable anywhere else. Can you guess the position?
Interesting.
There are 2 positions with 2 players.
Is it first base?
Correct.
Vlad?
Correct, Nick. There we go. We'll start there. Vlad Guerrero Jr., one of the best first basemen in all of baseball. He's getting a bit overshadowed this year by Matt Olson, Freddie Freeman, dominating over there in the AL. But he might not be the best hitter on his team right now. I think that would go to Bo Bichette, which I think is fair. Yeah. But Vlad is going to have a really great shot at being an all-star once again. And he is one of the premier first basemen in our league today. And he is the best first baseman, no question, under 25. Spencer Steer of the Reds. hinting a little bit at some players I might be naming. He's 25. He's having a great year. I don't want to shake on him. He's having a really nice season.
He's not competing
He
with
doesn't have
Vlad Guerrero.
because he doesn't have the name, he doesn't have the recognition, but Steer is going to be a first baseman, guy that he plays first, third, outfield, all across the diamond. And he's gonna qualify. I think he'll probably hit 15-15, which is not bad at that position.
Sure.
And he's going to hit for average. So this Reds team is really nice. Can you guess the other two positions have two players at?
Let's see. Any pitchers at all? Like,
I have a lot of pitchers.
Okay, because you have relievers, right? And because I think our rules are we're gonna do 3 starters.
Yeah, we're gonna do 3 starters, which is we're gonna have to debate the starters.
Okay.
Okay.
So then catcher then.
Correct. Frankie Alvarez in the Mets.
Okay.
And Keibert Ruiz on the Nationals.
Got it. Too bad Adderley's 25 because that would have been our guy.
Yeah, Ruxpin would have been our guy, but he's 25 years old. I think Alvarez to me is probably the guy, but Ruiz is a nice young catcher, and that's your hint. The Washington Nationals for the next position group that has 2 players at it. Ruiz is a really good young player, and I think both guys are going to be catchers in the NL East for a long time coming. I like what Alvarez can do at the plate a little bit more. Let me double check though. I don't want to leave anybody out, and I think I actually might be leaving a catcher out. So give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, man, you have 5 seconds if you want.
It's Gabriel Moreno is also under 25. And he is one of the best, if not the best, defensive catcher in all of baseball this year. He's throwing guys out at a ridiculous clip. So I want to put that into the ether for you if you'd like to make that selection instead.
No, let's stick with it. Stick with what you got, Alvarez.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, there are other catchers. Will Smith is 28, which is actually kind of surprising. I thought he was going to be younger. Toss's guy Jonah Heim, who he loves to bring up, and we'll shout out some Rangers. He is also 28. Connor Wong on my Sox 27. But Gabriel Moreno right there in the mix with all these guys. He's the ripe young age of 23. I think he'd probably be our backup catcher. I'd go Alvarez, Moreno, and then I'd go Keibert Ruiz. But all solid young catchers for the future. Okay. Sure. Second base.
So I feel like we have a lot of shortstops that we're probably going to have some tough times with. So are we allowed to move shortstops over to second base? I feel like second base is not that deep.
You have Andres Gimenez, who has been he's left a lot.
He's under 25.
I know he's left a lot to be desired on
this season. Last season, good.
He's an all-star and he's an amazing fielder. He's a Gold Glove level fielder. You also have Luis Garcia, who's flying for the Nationals, massively under the radar. I think also I want to shout the Nationals out because they have Lane Thomas can really be everyone gets an all-star rep, and Lane Thomas legitimately the A's who are you going to pick to be their all-star? Lane Thomas, outfielder for the Washington Nationals. It should really be him though.
He's top 10 in baseball in hits.
Yeah, he's having an all-star level season, so deservedly so. Heimer Candelario,
our boy Parker wants the Padres to trade for Lane Thomas really badly.
How's that going to happen? They're not going to give him up.
Take on Patrick Corbin's contract or something.
Ugh.
Which would be a disaster because he's so bad.
No, you don't need to do that. Go after McCutchen. Look, you don't have to go after the biggest fish in the sea every time.
Yeah.
You don't always have to do that. Look at some of the big moves in past free agent in past deadlines that have worked out for teams, bringing guys in. You don't always have to make the flashiest move or the biggest move. Sometimes bringing a guy in at the trade deadline who's solid, and the Braves did it a couple years ago. They just got a lot of outfield depth. They got a lot of guys they could rotate in, and it worked for them. You don't necessarily need to go and get Lane Thomas, although it'd be amazing if you got him.
Yeah.
He is not under 25. So I would say Gimenez. Shout out to Luis Garcia, but I would say Gimenez.
Okay.
Do it over there. So we have Vlad at first, Gimenez at second, Frankie Alvarez a catcher. I think maybe people would debate that, but I think it's a good pick. the outfield is, we could save that for last, I think, because that is the biggest group.
Yeah, for sure.
to
So
debate.
let's go to shortstop because
Gotcha.
I'm between Wander Franco and Ellie De La Cruz. And I know that Ellie De La Cruz small sample size, but I mean,
Let me throw some other guys at you. He's amazing. But De La Cruz, you could also put to third.
okay, so yeah, let's do that then.
So here are your options.
We also have O'Neal Cruz too.
There you go. That's one on my list. Good catch. You have Wander Franco, who
We also have a DH. We have a DH, so we can put someone on DH.
Yeah.
I think you got to put Wander Franco in there right now.
Yeah, I agree.
At short.
I'll shout out Anthony Volpe, who I think not this season, but eventually will get there and be the Yankees shortstop of the future. Will he be Derek Jeter 2.0? I don't think so, but I think he has a good future in pinstripes. He's a good base runner. He's got some pop. So I think Volpe will be the shortstop of the future for the Bronx Bombers, but he's not in there right now beating out Wander Franco. Matt McLain on the Reds has been awesome. Like that's De La Cruz at third base because McLean's come in there and he's been a knockout hitter at shortstop. You mentioned O'Neal Cruz. Ezekiel Duran plays a bit of outfield and a bit of shortstop for the Texas Rangers. I don't think he's in that realm yet of Wander, that realm yet of Ellie De La Cruz, but he's had a really nice season for the Rangers so far. So we'll go Wander. We'll keep Ellie De La Cruz at bay. Here's the question. Now you go to third base. You have Bobby Witt Jr., who could also be shortstop technically, but you have Bobby Witt Jr.
Yep.
You have Ellie De La Cruz, Gunnar Henderson, and Isaac Paredes, who I was surprised that he was under. He's had an amazing season for the Rays.
Yes. So this is like the team. When I'm looking at this team, I'm constructing the team that is going to be the future. The next 10 years, next 15 years, who are the guys that we're going to be seeing as perennial all-stars and MVP candidates, right? And I honestly want to put De La Cruz in there. I think that'd be my guy.
Okay. Look, it's tough to argue.
And honestly, like Wander and De La Cruz, they can maybe flip, like third short.
Sure. I mean, if you could play one, you could probably play the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Short to third is easier than third to short, I'll say.
Right.
But I think, look, Henderson, Witt Jr., Isaac, all these guys have been really good. They're really good cornerstones, I think, for their franchises. But De La Cruz, what he's done, his speed, his athleticism, he's a real threat all across the diamond. And having him and Wander Franco, that side of the diamond is going to be really strong for this team in the future. Yep. Let's go to the outfield.
Tatis.
Okay, I want to shout guys out that are not going to be in the mix.
Okay.
But shout them out. That Jack Sawinski, Pittsburgh Pirates, he's got some pop. He's having a nice season.
Sure.
Leody Taveras for the Rangers is having also a very nice season, really high batting average. Your boy Esty Ruiz, under 25.
Steals a lot of bases, but not a ton of power. Can hit for average. We'll see.
Just a category killer. And I think if he was on the right team in a better lineup, I think his average would go up.
Can you imagine if he was on the Rays? If he was on the Rays, that's like such a Rays player.
I know. Riley Green is not fully healthy right now on the Detroit Tigers, but was having a nice season. Is probably their best player for the future in the outfield. Those guys want to shout them out. They're not going to make the cut. I'm going to throw two more guys out that are on my we could consider, but still probably not really, really worth the discussion. Christopher Morel, Chicago Cubs, really good year. One of the best young players for the future if he keeps it up. Jared Kalanick, a lot of people wrote him off, thought he was done, an overhyped prospect. He's come in for the Mariners. We'd love to see his batting average kick back up, but he's got some pop over there for the M's. One of their better power hitters. And they have a lot of them. Now, here are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here are the 5 outfielders for 3 outfield spots. Your least favorite player in baseball, Michael
Tatis.
Tatis, Juan Soto, Julio Rodriguez, and Corbin Carroll. I will give you my. I have a feeling what yours is.
Corbin Carroll's for sure in there for me.
I would say the 2 no-brainers
are Tatis and Carroll.
Tatis and Carroll, correct.
I think I'm between Soto and J-Rod, even though J-Rod's having a tough year.
He's been fine. I would lean Soto.
I would too. Just bigger sample size. His on base percentage is unmatched. His power numbers are right on par with Julio Rodriguez. Is really all Julio has on him is speed and a little defense.
Yeah, but the ironic way that we're gonna switch roles here. I'm gonna back your guy up. One thing I will disagree with you on, his on base percentage this year is matched by a guy
by Luis Arraez.
Yeah, by Luis Arraez on the Marlins, who's not under 25, but he's 26. Luis Robert, another guy I want to shout out. He's third, by the way, in WAR. This guy is on fire. He is not under 25. He's 25, exactly. Okay, Juan Soto's 10th in WAR, second on the team. I mean, Tatis Jr. is the only guy that's top 10 in WAR that hasn't played not only 70 games, not 60 games. He's
ridiculous.
He's having an unbelievable season.
I really think that, down the stretch, this is a guy who can potentially make a run at the MVP. I mean, his team's got to put it together. He's got to give him some help here. But
you're in a really bad spot, dude. Like I always root for your boys. You're just in a real. He's played, and he's actually played great. He's played great defense. You're just like that, yeah. Like Acuna's got
but I'm saying like finishing top 3 in MVP voting, something like that.
I mean, he's probably third right now.
Yeah, and not even a candidate to start the All-Star game, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's probably fourth. He's probably fourth for me, honestly.
Yeah,
I would say.
So our outfield, we got to take Michael Harris out there.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's nice, but the outfield is nice. Soto, Tatis, and Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, now we just got to debate
pitchers and DH.
I want to let's get the DH out of the way.
Okay. I think Onel Cruz.
Julio?
Unless there's someone else out there.
Julio Rodriguez?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can throw him in there too.
We could throw J-Rod at our DH. I would do J-Rod or Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's got 23 steals. He's had a really impressive year. But I'm down for J-Rod. 18. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm trying to trade for him in fantasy right now. This guy's like asking for an arm and a leg. It's ridiculous. Vlad at first, Andres Jimenez at second, Juan Franco at short, Ellie De La Cruz at third, Francisco Alvarez, the New York Mets, catching our outfield from right to left. FTJ, Corbin Carroll in center, Juan Soto in left. Our DH is J-Rod. Shout out to everyone else who played. Okay, our pitchers. Here are your options.
Spencer Strider.
Strider's an option. Yuri Perez is an option. Mackenzie Gore is an option. Hunter Green is an option. Bryce Elder is an option. Brian Bayo is an option. Taj Bradley is an option. And Bryce Miller is an option. Personally, I would like to start with cutting Bryce Miller. And I actually really like what Taj Bradley can do for the Rays. And I think down the line, knowing how the Rays develop guys, I think he'll be a really nice pitcher. I would probably cut those two guys first.
Sure, we can do that. I think my glaring starter is Strider. He started off hot. He's not playing as well right now, but he's still
great game last night.
True.
Great game last night.
Leading the league in strikeouts still. I mean, this is a kid that I think is going to end up getting a Cy Young at some point.
Okay, I'm going to give you my 3. I'm going to go Strider at the 1, Yuri Perez at the 2. I think that's another kid that's going to end up winning a Cy Young. He's 20 on the dot years old.
Okay.
Sub 1.5 ERA, 5-1 in his first 9 starts. Good strikeout numbers.
And then Elder?
I would go Hook'em Horns, Bryce Elder is my number 3. Correct. Mackenzie Gore we've been hearing, you and I have known about him for years. Really high prospect, big piece in the Juan Soto deal. It's good to see him come into form and have a really nice season. Hunter Green still needs to kind of hunker it down a little bit, but his strikeout numbers are great. And Brian Bayo of my Red Sox, if you take away his first start, he's got a 2.7 ERA, and he's probably James Paxton's been great. I didn't shout him out the other day when I was listing our pitchers, but Brian Bayo, and it's crazy. I was reading on him the other day after his last start. he's got a 4-seam, a 2-seam, and a changeup, and his slider wasn't working. So he's now introducing a cutter. I mean, obviously guys are always adjusting, but it's still fun to see these young players and these young pitchers make these kinds of adjustments as their young careers are going. And he, to me, look, I see the next Chris Sale. I don't know, but he's a good enough starter that it actually kind of makes me wonder a major what if for the Boston Red Sox. Like, I don't know if he'd be as good if he was with the Red Sox, but he's having an amazing year for the Rangers. If Eovaldi was still with the Sox and we had Paxton, Eovaldi, Whitlock, Brian Bay, Cutter Crawford, how would our season be looking? Would we still be above 500 but in the cellar, or would we be vying for one of these wild card spots? Because I could call it David Spade a David Spade. I know the blood in the water when I see it. There's just no way we're catching these teams. They will out hit and pitch us when push comes to shove. But there's a lot of promise for this Red Sox squad. And had we kept Nathan Eovaldi, who was solid last year for us, it really makes me wonder what could have been.
Yep, I'm with you. I like the squad that we've put together.
Yeah, not a lot of debate on it. But I'm curious. Maybe we'll do when Toss comes back tomorrow, or this sometimes in the throes of summer, a 25-30 squad.
Okay, it'd be fun.
Cool. All right. Get in your soapbox, my friend. What's the issue with the All-Star game? Where do we stand? Who's in? What are the leaderboards right now? Talk to me.
Well, I mean, look, we always know that this is a popularity contest. It's the same way in the NBA as well with All-Star voting. My issue is that there's just guys on here that like shouldn't even really be on the ballot. Like, Bryce Harper hasn't played a full season and he's second right now to Jose Martinez. JD Martinez in designated hitting voting, and like he's got 3 home runs this season, barely played. Popularity contest. Michael Harris is in here, and as we mentioned, he's good. He's not better than Mookie Betts, Corbin Carroll this season. Even Tatis this season. Acuna is the starter already. Mike Trout's having a good season, but like he's first right now in All-Star starter voting. So there's just some issues there, but it is what it is. So as it stands, let's just break down the standings of where they're at for All-Star starting voters. So it's down to 2 players per position besides the outfield. That's down to 5. Okay. So we'll start in the AL first base. We got Yandy Diaz leading Vlad Guerrero. Yes or no?
Really?
He's leading him 54% of the votes by 46%.
Wow.
Yep. So I think that's correct.
I'm with that. Yeah, I love that. Yandy Diaz has had an amazing season. It's good to see. I saw a video, and I actually meant to send it to you. I think because I thought you'd find it super interesting. People were like, they don't think Rays fans. People don't think Rays fans exist. They're like, A, because the stadium kind of stinks. B, if I'm a Rays fan, would I spend money to go to the game? Or I live in Tampa Bay, I live in Florida, would I go to a bar and chill and watch it at the beach? And I was like, yeah, why would I spend the money on a ticket and parking and deal with all that BS and go to a crappy stadium when I could chill on the beach in Tampa and watch the game? It's like there are a lot of Rays fans. People love the Rays. We just don't go to the games. I was like,
yeah.
Kind of makes
sense.
They
also have a pretty low capacity for their ballpark as well. I think it's like 30,000.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a crap stadium, dude.
It's terrible. It's one of the worst in baseball. All right. Moving on to the NL first baseman. Freddie Freeman's leading Matt Olson. I think that's valid. Matt Olson's got a lot of home runs, but come on, dude. Freddie Freeman is second right now, maybe in MVP voting.
I'm just simply saying he's third to me.
Third Corbin behind.
Carroll.
Okay.
Corbin Carroll. They're winning the division. He's top 5 in WAR. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. And your guy's fourth. So there you go.
I mean, Freddie's hitting .317 with 14 home runs. Like,
so what's Corbin Carroll doing?
It's pretty good.
Corbin
Carroll's at 290 with 16 home runs.
Okay, Corbin Carroll has a 3.6 WAR. He has How many home runs? How many home runs does he have? You said
16, 2 more than Freddie.
okay. He's got 23 stolen bases as well.
All right, we're talking about just the position right here. Let's not
Okay,
get too far
just-
ahead of ourselves. So Freddie Freeman up on Matt Olson. That's a yes. Come on.
It's a yes. It's a yes. I just think it's interesting that these are the two guys leading.
I mean, Matt Olson's hitting 237.
He's got 25 bombs, dude, and he plays a great field. I'm just saying the interesting part
Okay,
is like they
Schwarber's hitting like 200. He's got 20 home runs. Like, you
Okay,
can throw him in there too.
No, I'm just interesting. The swap that was made was Olson for Freeman for the Braves. It's interesting that these guys are 1 and 2. Just the storyline, but I'm with you. Freddie Freeman.
Storyline. All right, second base in the NL. Luis Arias on top of Ozzy Albies. We got to give that a yes.
Second base, I want to apologize to the second baseman. I crapped on second base, and I sent you guys a list yesterday. There are a lot of good second basemen in baseball.
There are.
I crapped in that position ahead of the year.
Yes. Cool. Second base in the AL, Marcus Semien has got a pretty big lead over Whit Merrifield. That's a yes.
Yeah. Merrifield, good season, but Semien, no brainer.
Cool. All right. Third base, Josh Young, still on the Rangers, up on Matt Chapman. Got a pretty big lead too.
I don't hate it.
No, I don't either. I like it.
I don't hate it at all. Chapman, both guys have had really good seasons.
They have. In the NL for third base, Nolan Arenado's leading Austin Riley.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, I was still looking at the AL. Jose Ramirez is also having, once again, an unbelievable year. So it's Arenado on. Right. Arenado's been great. You know who's leading the third baseman in WAR though? To tie. Leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of the guys. Candelario he's a good baseball player, man. And Ryan McMahon of the Rockies, but I'm cool with Arenado leading in that category.
Yeah, those guys don't have an opportunity to start. They'll probably make an all-star game, but
I think McMahon will be the representative of the Rockies.
Yeah. They got to have somebody. All right, shortstop in the NL, Arcia has got a huge lead over Francisco Lindor.
Yeah,
he's been playing a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, Lindor's been picking it up.
But that's just a little New York bias probably for this voting. All right, shortstop in the AL, Corey Seager got a really big lead over Bichette. Now, this is tough for me because I think they're both. I mean, look, Corey Seager's on fire right now, but he also hasn't played as much as Bo Bichette has, and Bo Bichette is second in baseball in hits. So I think this is a toss-up.
The one thing I will say, you're right. He hasn't played as much. Bichette's played 31 more games, and he has 1 more RBI than Seager. Seager's OPS is above 1,000.
Bo Bichette, doesn't he lead off?
Yeah, but like he's played 31 more games, and he's in a good. No, Springer leads off.
Oh,
and Springer actually just is now second all time in leadoff home runs to Ricky Henderson.
That's right. Pretty cool.
Very cool. I actually think, to me, and again, it's tough because you have Wander, you have Bichette, and you have Seager all balling out. But if you take what Seager's done in these 47 games, he's by far, to me, the best player. And no, nothing against Semien, but he's the best player on this Texas Rangers team that's in first place.
Yep, I feel you. All right, catcher Jonah Heim of the Rangers. A lot of Rangers, man. Leading Adderley Ruxpin.
Probably should be Ruxpin. Definitely should be Ruxpin, but Heim's been really good, and the Rangers are in first. Look, the Rangers are in first place, dude. You know how this goes when a team.
I don't know. I don't know if it should be, because Jonah Heim's hitting 282 with 11 home runs, 55 RBIs, and 809 OPS. And Ruxpin's got 269, 10 home runs, 34 RBIs, and a 796 OPS. So he's leading him in every category.
And WAR, he's up in WAR too.
So I think it should be Jonah Heim.
Okay, then Jonah Heim it is. There you go.
All right, catcher for the NL. Sean Murphy, who we think is probably the best offseason acquisition any team made, is leading Will Smith. I think that's valid.
I think that's a tough race. I think it's valid, but I think it's a tough race.
It is.
That NL shortstop race, actually, I was just looking at the numbers, is a lot closer than we think. You know who's leading the NLs in shortstops in WAR? Dansby Swanson, another really good offseason acquisition by the Cubs.
Yeah, it was. Doesn't matter though, because they blur.
they blur, but they don't blow. They blur.
Right. They blur. All right.
Okay.
Let's keep it in the NL. Ronald Acuna already locked in as a starter. They didn't even bother putting him in the voting because he was so far ahead in the voting process. But we got to pick 2 more outfielders. Mookie Betts is in first place. Corbin Carroll's in second. Michael Harris in third. And Gurriel Jr. is in fourth. So I think this is the right move. I would honestly put Carroll over Mookie, but they're both going to start.
Agreed across the board. And actually, we've talked about this being one of the best offseason moves, and nothing against Dalton Varsho, who's been fine for the Blue Jays, but the D-backs trading Varsho for Gurriel Jr., who's been really good and is a future for that team, and Gabriel Moreno, who we mentioned earlier in the show. That was a really nice package they received for Dalton Varsho. Really good move by the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy to me that this team is in first place of, people saying one of the toughest divisions in baseball, and they literally have one guy vying for a starting role in this.
How many guys do they have that could be all-stars? Ketel Marte could easily be, again, like he's like a top 3 second baseman in the NL.
Sorry, they have 2, Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll, yeah. Okay. So like they have Gurriel, Corbin Carroll.
They'll get Gallen in there.
Gallen's going to get in there. Like Merrill Kelly could have a shot. He's been pretty good lately. I don't think he'll make it necessarily, but Gallen will make it, and he's like a Cy Young favorite.
Yep. All right. Outfield. AL outfield. You got Trout leading the pack. Slight edge over Randy Arozarena. Judge in third. Jordan Alvarez. Aldias Garcia. Adolis Garcia, and Kevin Kiermaier. Judge is going to be out, so that takes him out of the mix, right? Because he's hurt.
Yeah, he'll make it, but I mean, and that's okay too. He was amazing up until he
he deserves it. But for me, Randy should be in there, and so should Jordan. And then I guess Aldias.
Adolis Garcia should be in ahead of all those dudes. Maybe he's been. I mean, maybe not Randy, but he should be right in there with Mike Trout. And Alvarez and Judge are both hurt, so Adolis Garcia is going to get the start.
Right.
So both Judge and Alvarez are out, so it'll be Garcia, Arozarena, and Trout.
Right.
Trout's been good, man.
Shout out to Kiermaier, but
Kiermaier's sticking around. Another good. He's a really good addition for the Blue Jays recently. Yep. So he's great in the field.
And then last but not least, Shohei Ohtani's already locked in as your ALDH. I mean, that's the biggest lock of the century.
Is he going to pitch too?
Probably. Honestly,
they shouldn't waste the slot on him though. They should open it up.
He's locked in as probably the AL MVP right now too, as it stands. I don't know if there's anything anyone can do besides him just falling off a cliff. And then in the NL for DH, JD Martinez is leading Bryce Harper, slight edge, as the DH, and he should be the DH.
Over JD, yeah.
So
I'm cool with that.
It seems like for the most part, the starters in this race, they got it right.
Yeah, I'm cool with everything. Everything's working out as it should. We'll see once the starters are picked how we'll fill out the rest of our rosters. Wow.
Let's see. I'm going to count real quickly. Just out of, quickly putting your math together, do you think there's more Rangers or Braves on this ballot?
I think there are more Rangers.
Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Rangers,
and
there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Braves on this ballot.
In my face, yeah, makes sense. Arcia Olsen,
but it seems like there will be more Rangers starters than Braves.
Oh, so they get it where it counts.
Exactly. Because Semien, Josh Young, Corey Seager, Jonah Heim, all leading. Garcia is kind of at the bottom there. And then you've got Acuna, Sean Murphy, Arcia, and those are the only guys leading.
Well, what's that old saying about battles and wars? The Braves may have won the battle, but the Rangers will win the war. There you go. Nick.
I love U.S. history of the
Jesus
slaughtering the Native Americans.
I wasn't going there, but yeah, as it came out of my mouth, obviously, a regrettable stance on my part. Let's play a game, Nick. You love games. I love playing games with you.
We got 2 games. We'll do our Immaculate Grid, and then
we'll get there. We'll get the Immaculate Grid for show, actually. Okay. This game is called 20 questions minus 10. So 10 questions. You have 10 questions, yes or no questions. And you have to get to this player.
Okay.
It's a baseball player.
Okay. So
a baseball player currently playing.
Okay, active. So I don't want to use that as one of my questions. Active or okay.
Active baseball player.
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready. Question 1, go.
Okay. Is this a position player?
No.
Okay, so it's a pitcher. Is this player in the NL?
No.
Okay. Is this player in the AL East?
No.
Okay. Is this player going to be an all-star?
I will say maybe, and I will not count that as one of your questions.
Why not?
Maybe, because I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how the non-position players are going to work out. We haven't seen that voting, so to speak.
Right, but I mean, your guys who are going to be.
He could be. He could. Yeah, he could be. He really could be.
Okay. Is this a starting pitcher?
Yes.
Okay. Is this player in the AL West?
Yes. This player is in the AL West.
How many questions have I had so far?
You have 5 questions. I will review them quickly. Is this a position player? The answer is no. Is this player in the NL? The answer was no. Is this player in the AL East? The answer was no. Then you asked your 3B question, is he going to be an all-star? I said, I don't know, maybe, probably. Then you said, is this player a starter? I said, yes. So that was question number 4. Is this player in the AL West? And I said, yes.
Okay. Has this player played more than 7 years in the bigs?
Yes.
Okay. Is this player on the Rangers?
Yes.
I feel like I've got 2 options here.
Okay, Nick.
How many questions left?
You have 3 questions left, my friend. Take your shots.
Okay. Has this player?
Now you're trying to dance. Oh, now don't get cocky, dude.
No, I'm not.
Don't get cocky.
Has this player played in the AL East before?
No.
Okay. Has this player played in the NL West before?
Yes.
Is it John Gray?
At 10 questions on the dot, Nick, you are correct. This player is John Gray. Excellent work, my friend.
Yeah,
excellent work.
Gotta drag it out for the dramatic
effect. That was nice. You like that game? You did well.
That was fun. That was good.
That was a
I
good
could have
one.
got it earlier, I think, if I just didn't.
I think you could have gotten.
I just could have said, is it him or him? Evaldi or is it John Gray?
Well, I would have been like, yes, and then you would have to guess again. So maybe not. But I like the dramatic effect. It's like, it's like a Rocky movie. Like, Rocky's gonna win, right? But they just take it to the 15th inning or 15th round.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, he's lost before though. You don't know he's gonna win.
He lost in the first one.
It's more like a Marvel movie where it's like the superhero's gonna survive. Besides Tony Stark.
Some of them die, not necessarily. Like the
In the Amazing Spider-Man, the Spider-Man's not gonna die.
Rocky, he wins and he loses Rocky 1. He wins Rocky. When he comes back to fight Apollo Creed in Rocky 2.
He can't lose that one.
You know he's not losing that. When he Clubber Lang, when he fights Clubber Lang early in the movie, you know he's gonna lose, and then you know he's gonna come back later. And when Ivan Drago literally murders Apollo Creed in Rocky 4, and he has to go train in Russia in the snow, you know
he got away with that.
I know, literally got away with murder. Okay, your favorite game? I love this game too. Grid Talk. Let's do it. Immaculate Grid. For those listening to our podcast, hit your free throws because they're free, audio only. We'll see you guys tomorrow. For those viewing, watching, let's enter the Immaculate Grid. Here we go.
Man.
Boom shakalaka.
I will audio listeners that just don't get to do what we do here.
Okay, I was a little dominant yesterday. I will back off today.
No, it's okay. If you want to dominate, you can dominate. Your team is in here too, so. Okay, so 200 strikeout season with the Royals. Did Greinke do it with the Royals?
Yes, good one. Okay, I'll make a pick here too.
Felix, King Felix.
Yeah, good one, dude.
Honestly, we could have got Randy too.
Yeah. I believe he must have. Okay. I mean, why is this guy like every Immaculate Grid?
Benintendi, right? Yeah, I was gonna say him.
He's like, does Benintendi make this game?
He might.
Okay. I'll tell you what are you feeling right now? Because I could go a few. This one I'm a little on.
Which one? The Rangers in Guardians?
Yeah. Oh. Nolan Ryan had to have hit, right? For the Jers.
For sure.
Wow. This Greinke one is. I'm wondering if there's any other options. Probably, but maybe not. Okay, this is tough. That's peculiar. We could do Adrian Beltre for one of these. He fits both. Can you do two guys? I don't think you can reuse a guy, right?
I have no clue how it works. Let's use Adrian Beltre for the Mariners and Red Sox. I feel like we could find a Ranger. All right, Ranger and Red Sox.
Oh. Loves, but
yep. You could have done the same thing for the next one over too. That was
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
I have one for this. Another pitcher.
Oh, nice.
I love Cliff Lee, dude. Cliff Lee was awesome, bro. Cliff Lee's one of my favorite pitchers. That was like not like a Red Sox.
He was great. All right, Kansas City and Cleveland. Did Rajai Davis ever play for the Royals?
I don't know. Did Carlos Santana last year? Was he a Royal last year? He's a Pirate now.
May have been. I want to check Rajai real quickly.
You can check. I'll let you check Rajai.
Rajai was not a Royal.
I'm gonna go Carlos Santana. Very confident in this one. Wow, that was a heavy pick. All right, what do we got for Indians? I'm sorry, Jesus. What do we got for Guardians? Mariners.
We're not in a good place with the Native American people this episode.
I know this is a bad episode for that. Guardians, Mariners. What are we thinking?
Man, let's see.
Pitchers, talk it out with me. Hitters.
Anybody on the current staff right now?
Luis Castillo, no. Robbie Ray, no. Gilbert, Kirby, all these Bryce Miller, all those guys have come up through the Mariners, so no.
Bibee,
No.
Say
No. What about Josh Bell? Never played for the Mariners.
no, not Naylor.
Did Mike Zunino play for the Guardians? That's like a weird one, dude. I don't want to do that. Is that it though?
He
Really?
he
did?
started. Yeah, he's on them right now.
Oh, okay. Let's go. And he played for the Mariners.
Yep.
Oh, Shabbat Shalom. Nice. Nice. See today's stats. Oh wow, people are killing this one today. That would have been a bad one. The hardest one was that one that we were struggle bus on. People don't know Seattle baseball. Oh, Paxton was a good one. Eovaldi, another good one. Kluber is a popular one there. We probably should have utilized Kluber there. Carlos Santana is the most. That stinks, though. I wish I would knew who the other popular picks were for the Guardians. Zunino was apparently a popular pick. And then Cliff Lee. Shout out to Cliff Lee.
Shout out to Cliff Lee.
Cliff Lee's great. One of those guys.
I'm gonna check and see if we could use the same player twice.
Cliff Lee's like one of those guys that not a Hall of Famer, but just like a really good all-time baseball.
Can't use him again.
Okay. Cool. Noted. Yeah. All right. Well, fans out there who are watching on video, thank you guys so much for joining us. And
shout out to you and your families.
Shout out to you and your families. Really good baseball show, man. Absolute fun time. Dudes just love sitting around, naming old baseball players and talking baseball stats. It is the oldest pastime that'll never die. Fans out there, track both feet inbounds, swing on a full count, rip that puck, hit that putt, hit your PKs because they're free, and hit your free throws. Why, Nick?
Because they're free.
That they are. We actually love you.